ask that this message fell upon the right ears. If you've come across this message, it was meant for you because I didn't tell anybody about this channel. I'm not going to tell anybody about this channel. I'm not going to promote this channel. So if you randomly find my messages, trust that they were meant for you. So I've been told for a long time in many messages that I was supposed to be using my voice. I was supposed to be teaching people. I was supposed to be whatever. And I have had one reason after another that I was not ready. I was not worthy. I was not whatever. And recently the message to me was that I would not receive my blessings until I did what I was told. Basically, I mean, it was not in that kind of way. That sounds very, very bad. But basically, you have to align with yourself, align with what your purpose is, align with the things that make you glow. So this first message, I get messages all the time. I say them out loud to myself in the car, and when I say them out loud, I know that they're not for me. I know they're for someone else. Probably many other people. So recently, I was listening to a YouTube message, and one of the things that was said in it, and this was not the point of the message, but one of the things that was said was that we are the salt of the earth. I'm driving in the car and going, yeah, but that's such a weird phrase. That's such a weird phrase. And it's always been in the back of my mind that that is a strange phrase, because what does salt do to the earth? If you pour salt on the ground, it kills things. It makes the land so that nothing will grow. I started thinking about how a lot of us out there hear that we are supposed to be the curse breakers. We are supposed to break whatever it is in our family that has been passed down for generations, that has hurt us, that has destroyed us, that has destroyed our relationships, our souls, our spirits, our lives. Like, some of us, everything in our life has been destroyed by something or someone in our family. If you look, those patterns have been carried on for many years. And so when we stop the pattern of being manipulated, stop the pattern of accepting manipulation, of being a doormat for other people, letting other people make our decisions and destroy our lives and take advantage of us. Our job there is to then walk away. Because when we walk away and we stop allowing these people to do the things that they're doing to us, it destroys any way for that stuff to grow in our lives. It destroys the chance for the hate, the anger, the resentment. It destroys us passing all of these things on to our own children. It stops the cycle. Our job as the salt of the earth is not to just be good people. It is to stop the cycle of abuse. And yes, many of us were physically abused. I'm talking about spiritual and emotional abuse that we just put up with because we're told that we are supposed to be nice. We're supposed to be kind. We are supposed to just love everyone, and we're supposed to forgive everyone. You can love and forgive everyone from a distance. You can. Our job is to break the cycle. It is to stop the growth of these things. The Indians believed that we were supposed to, in all of our actions, think about what the things we were doing, how they were going to benefit or destroy the next 7 generations. I guarantee this has been going on for 7 generations of my family. But I decided today to go ahead and look it up. And I looked up, what does the salt of the earth mean? Well, somehow AI knew that that wasn't my question. An AI told me about what salting the earth does, which is what I kind of talked about it. But to salt the earth means to deliberately kill or destroy a piece of land by spreading salt on it, making it unable to support plant life, often used as symbolic vengeance, or to ensue conquered territory, cannot be used for agriculture again. It originates from historical practices where conquerors would salt the land of the defeated enemies to prevent them from reestablishing themselves there. So, our salt is not just to overcome something, it is to prevent that evil from reestablishing again in us or in any other space. Now, looking a little further, I found a lot more about salt being very sacred. And I have some more research that I would love to do about what are the metaphysical properties of salt. We know what the physical properties of salt are. We know that once upon a time, salt was very expensive. It not only flavored the food, but sea salts have many minerals that you just don't get in abundance. Things like iodine that we don't get in abundance in our diets if we don't live by the ocean. Roman soldiers were paid in salt. The term worth his salt. If someone is worth their salt, that means they are a good worker. They are worth what they are being paid. They are worth whatever you have to give them to get them to do their job. But then I found that in the Old Testament, salt was put into grain offerings and also onto meat. Now, part of this was because the tribe of Levi was where the priests came from, and these priests did not own their own lands. Their job was to be a priest. Their job was to be consecrated to God. Their job was not to go out and work the land. So the offerings offered to God, the food offerings, the meat and the grains, were then used to feed the priests. So the salt preserved the food. In fact, Leviticus 2:13 says, "In every obligation of thy meat shalt thou season with salt. Neither shalt thou suffer the salt of the covenant of God to be lacking from thy meat offerings." Salt was the covenant of God. In Arabic cultures, two people eating salt together were said to be promising to protect each other. In Oriental cultures, eating each other's salt meant that you promised not to harm one another. Ancient contracts were bound by eating salt in the presence of witnesses. Salt acted as a preservative. It is a symbol not of, oh, I'm going to do this one time, but it is a symbol of our covenant to live in the power that we were given, to exercise the powers that we were given, to use our blessings, to use our gifts, to protect one another. It's a covenant to do no harm. It's a reminder that whether you believe in the traditional God or the spirit world, I mean, you believe in something if you're here, because, like I said, I'm not sharing that I even have this channel. I'm not telling anyone about it. Like, if you guys randomly found me, you were meant to hear this. You were meant to get something out of this. We, as the salt of the earth, have a covenant to protect one another, to uplift one another, to do no harm to each other, but also to use our God-given gifts. Many of us, from the time we were children, had gifts, had prophecies. We could do things that scared people, that people thought were evil. I ask you today, stop worrying about what scares people. If you were given a special gift, a special talent, it's because the world needs you. You are needed. Your voice is needed. Your artwork is needed. Your gifts are needed. Your hugs are needed. Your intellect is needed. Your insight is needed. I've been told I have to use my voice. And I found that in the past, I have sometimes, I'll go months without really talking to almost anyone. And then all of a sudden, I have so much to say. I'll get on Facebook or I'll go out in public and there will be random people that say something to me. And all of a sudden, I have 10,000 things to say and I don't even know their story. And I don't know why I have to say it to them, but I do. And when I let myself do that, I'm always, always, always told that is exactly what I needed to hear. I have never, or that they've never seen it from that perspective. I am told how much it helped. Sometimes our gifts don't make sense. But the Bible says that the wisdom of the Lord will seem as insanity compared to the wisdom of man. And again, this does not have to be, when I say the Lord, when I say God, like, those are terms that a lot of people identify with. But I think anybody who has stumbled upon this video knows that God isn't some man in the sky. God is the energy of everything that we are made of. In the Gospel of Thomas, which conveniently did not make it into the Bible because it didn't benefit the Catholic Church's financial status, Jesus tells us that we already have everything we have inside us. That God is already in us. We are made of God. We are created in their image. It says male and female. That is a story for another day, but our bodies are male or female usually. Our spirits are not. Our spirits are both. Our spirits are equipped to act in any situation. We have the masculine and the feminine in us, just like the rest of the world does. There is no clear-cut difference. There's like light and darkness. There is no clear-cut difference. They're all part of one and the same thing. Sorry, my dog is freaking out right now. I think there's little trash pandas under the house. But yeah, I now don't know where I was going with the rest of that, but if you hear that you are the salt of the earth, if you hear those types of phrases, let it be a reminder to you to keep a covenant, if it's only with yourself. A covenant with the universe, a covenant with the gods, the goddesses, the nature around you, with the people around you. And again, this can be a covenant just to yourself. That you will act in your own integrity. When you are told to use your gifts, you know. You know when you are given insight. You know when you are given the urge to do something for someone, to say something to someone, to smile at someone, to hug them, to gift to them. You don't have to go tell everybody about it. Yeah, people think that we're weird. Because we are. Weird just means that you are not normal. What is normal in this society? Hate, anger, greed, lust, addictions, obsessions, judgment. If we don't act in those ways, then yes, by definition of the word, we are weird. Go be weird. Embrace all your weirdness. These are your gifts. These are your blessings. And you are not meant to keep your blessings hidden under a basket. You're meant to share your blessings with the world. Go light up the world with your weirdness, people. And I make a covenant with you, with this salt offering, to do the same. That when I am urged to give a message, I'm not going to wait till I have makeup on. I do have makeup on today, but I'm not going to wait till I feel good. I'm not going to wait until I have a whole plan of what to say. I'm not going to wait until I'm sitting in some pretty place. I'm not going to wait until some other time, because there's so much I could have said if I had done this video in segments over the past week. Each time I got some kind of download or some kind of insight that would have been said much better than I said them today. I mean, today I did do some research about the other things that salt has meant in many cultures, which I did want to address if I didn't want this to be as short as my one little insight, but make a covenant to each other. Make a covenant to yourselves. And when you do that, when you stand in your light and stand in your power and stand in your fucking beautiful weirdness, the people that need you will show up, and the people that you need will show up. Terrence McKenna says that so many of us just feel like we're lying when we indulge in small talk. But that we're not going to find, I wish that I had the quote written down, it's so good, but we're not going to find our people by playing small. We're going to find our people by letting our freak flag fly, by letting our weirdness shine, by letting who we are shine. Because that weirdness is your beauty, it is your strength, it is your power. And every culture in the world, the spiritualists were set apart from other people. You are considered weird and strange because you are set apart to do a great mission. I send you many, many blessings. I hate ending without having some great ending, but this is the end. Walk in your blessings, walk in your power, walk in love. And remember that if you hear this, I love you. I'm sending you love. I'm sending you light. And I know how to do that because I've walked in the darkness. Reach out. Lift other people out of their darkness. You know how because you have walked there.